Making the invisible visible. Black women, 365 days of the year. Each day will spotlight a remarkable woman whose story has shaped Black, British or global diasporic history. Women whose achievements are too often overlooked. Through these daily short films, we create a living, breathing archive of leadership, creativity, resistance and legacy. Let's begin.
Well, I am Angela Jackman. My title is Honorary QC, so I have KC on after my name, which I'm very proud about. I see myself as a daughter, perhaps first and foremost, and that's because my mum is living with dementia. So time with mum is very, very precious, and liaising with siblings around mum is really important. So I'm a daughter. I'm a mum to two daughters in their 20s. I am a dancer. I enjoy running. I see myself as an activist in terms of my law and the policy and the really important campaign issues that arise from the work that I do. And I'm a lawyer. Yeah, so my main area of practice is mental capacity. So I act for individuals who are unable to make decisions for themselves around where they live, contact, care, social media, education, a whole range of issues that impact how you live your life. And so I take instructions from advocates or from a government department called the Official Solicitor, and that's the main bulk of my work. Plus I do other areas. So I've got quite a high profile judicial review case at the moment that's had quite a lot of press coverage around a very unfair compensation scheme for LGBT veterans. So that's an example of having a different type of case that will have different pressures that come with it. In addition, I'm a partner at the firm where I work, Irwin Mitchell. So there's a lot of management that comes with that in terms of working with my co-partners, supporting the teams who I line manage. It's a large firm, over 3,000 people with lots of different teams. So again, there's constant flow of emails coming in that need to be dealt with in a timely manner. 20% of my time at the firm is devoted to responsible business and diversity and inclusion. That includes working with external organisations. I'm very proud that having worked at City Law School, City and St George's University of London, I have continued working with them since I left 5 years ago, and we co-run a joint Black and minority ethnic mentoring program for undergraduates. I might also be delivering training because I deliver training to the Law Society for practitioners, and I also speak at public events. So it's very varied mix, and generally keeps me very busy. It's quite full on. I would say that one of the main influences for me as a person and in my professional life is actually my big sister, Donna Jackman, who was interviewed by yourselves a few weeks ago, because I grew up learning really important values. So from a young age, I guess as a teenager, I was very much influenced by Donna's politics, which then influenced the kind of organisations that I became involved in as a student, influenced the type of law that I wanted to practice, because Donna was involved in setting up Leicester's first law centre. And on qualifying in the 80s, my main concern and goal was to work in the law centre movement, which I did. I worked at Hackney Law Centre for nearly 13 years. In terms of other influences, I think one of the biggest things that impacted me was going on one of my first Black demonstrations. There were white allies as well. We've used the word allies in more recent years. But it was following the police shooting of Cherry Gross in Brixton. She was paralysed as a result of that shooting. Because in the 80s, there were so many challenges that needed to be brought to policing practices and injustices suffered by the Black community. I went on that demonstration, and it was really empowering to be on a demonstration where the majority of marchers were from my community, were Black individuals. So that really struck me, because that was one of my first demonstrations that I went on in London, and also because it was organised around an issue that was so important to the Black community and still continues to be important to the Black community. Yes, I think I've been learning over the last few years when there is so much pressure on all of us in the sectors that we work on that it's important to step back and reflect. So when you have a small gain, I think it's important to share that gain and to make sure that you praise everybody else who's involved in that gain, because we don't work, in little solitary kind of vacuums. And so when I've had some good gains, I've made sure professionally, for example, to share them on LinkedIn if it's appropriate to do so. But I also make sure that I praise the other individuals who were party to that small gain as well, because we need to, especially in a pressurized job, make sure that we're boosting other people as well. In terms of well-being, I personally take time out. I said at the beginning that my various labels include running and dancing. So I have spent many hours over the years enjoying African dance because it's important to me spiritually and physically in terms of keeping fit. I really enjoy that. It brings such rewards and really helps in terms of invigorating me further for the work. So it's taking that time, doing what you enjoy, however that best fits our lifestyles or our values or what we enjoy.
Thank you for joining us for today's story. Making the Invisible Visible is our commitment to ensuring that Black women's histories and contributions are recognised, valued and kept in daily circulation. Across 2026, we will continue to share these powerful narratives, 365 days of impact, brilliance and inspiration. Stay connected, join the conversation and help us champion the women whose journeys continue to shape our world. I'm Paulette Brooks and I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow for the next story.